It's property tax protest season. So today, let's talk a little bit about property tax and whether or not you should be protesting your property tax this year. Living in Texas definitely has its advantages. And one of the biggest advantages is the fact that there is no state income tax here in Texas. It's a major reason why people migrate to Texas from all over our country every single year. But just because there's no state income tax, that doesn't mean our great state isn't going to find other ways to get their pound of flesh. And anybody that lives in Texas or owns property in Texas knows property tax tends to be the great and powerful equalizer come tax time. So, should you be protesting your property tax this year? Yes. In fact, you should be protesting your property tax every single year, and here's why. It's because of the effects of compounding. Every single year, you get a tax bill in the mail for your property, and the amount of money that you owe is taken from what your county determines to be the appraised market value of your home. Every single year, the county can raise that appraised market value by 10%, and they do, like clockwork, 10%, 10%, 10%. But the thing about it is they can only increase it 10% from the value that it was that previous year. So if you protest your property tax and you cut that 10% increase from the year before down to 5%, the following year, they can only raise your appraised market value 10% on whatever the value was after that 5% increase the year prior. So compounding over time, you save significant taxable dollars on your appraised market value. So the next question that comes is, how do you protest your property tax? Well, there's really only two ways to do it. The first way is you can take care of the protest yourself. You get online to your county website or follow the instructions that came in your actual tax bill on how to formally file a protest. Once you do that, you're basically given a date of when you're expected to show up and protest your property value. You're going to need to get with a realtor that you trust and have them pull comps from you. And those comps need to be from the previous year, January 1 to December 31, of homes that are like yours in age, size, subdivision, or general vicinity. And you're looking for what those homes actually sold for. You kind of compare your home to theirs, and that's what gives you the true market value through the comps of your property. When your day comes to show up to protest, you show up, you plead your case, and the forum basically rules on what your actual appraised value is going to be. Now, the second way you can protest, and this is the way that I have been doing it for the last 10 years, and obviously it's the way that I recommend, and that is to hire a property protest company. Now, what these companies will do is they'll compile all of your information, and with very, very little effort needed from you, they will file your protest and arrange to represent you on your behalf come protest day. But here's where it gets great. Well, one, they do this for a living, okay? So, their success rate is sensationally high. But what they do is they will put together hundreds of property protests of homes just like yours in like areas, and come property protest day, they'll show up with a stack of protests about this high, and they'll just put them down right before the forum and say, these are the property protests that we are here to deal with today. Have at it. Now, you got to remember, the people that are running these forums, they're volunteers. They're paid very little to almost nothing to sit there for hours every day for weeks listening to property protests. I have seen with my own two eyes this forum take one look at the stacks that these companies show up with and just approve them in one foul swoop. Now, I always get this question, and that is, how do the property tax companies get paid? They get paid on a small percentage of whatever they save you. If they do not get your appraised market value adjusted, you don't pay them anything. In short, it is always a good idea to protest your property taxes to avoid the appraised market value compounding year over year over year. The last thing you want to be doing is be paying taxes on a market value of your home that is simply not true. If you want some more information about property protests or property protest management companies, or you'd like to know the name of the company that I use or want a referral for that company, shoot me a DM. I will send you a referral immediately. And if you have any more questions, reach out anytime. But until next time, happy protesting.